I used to feel like a loser. And those are words I never could have said out loud. Like 13 years ago, when I was at the height of my internal loserness, I was in my late 30s and I'd given my whole life to dream chasing, to being an artist. And I think maybe I'm in the last generation that believed that you could do anything. That if you never gave up, it would finally work. And I was getting close to 40 years old, and I was living in my car, and I was just completely broke. And starting to be convinced that I had just wasted my life. I had become a loser. A little bit of a tangent. I also, as many of you know, grew up in a very conservative religious church, and I was sort of surrounded by older men who did not work for a living. Like if you said you were called into the youth ministry, then people would pay your bills in the church and you could just like throw pizza parties every weekend. And I sort of like entered young adulthood in that like I'm gonna be in the youth ministry. And then when I left that behind, I think I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but there's definitely some like fundamentalist Christian trauma that echoed through my 20s and 30s. But I'd set this sort of arbitrary age mark for myself that at 40 years old, surely it had to work by 40. And as 40 got closer and closer and things were working less and less, and then eventually living in my car on my 40th birthday, I became the man I feared I would become. I did it. And then for my 40s, I lived a lot differently. I just decided that what I was doing was not working. And I realized I needed to take better care of myself. But a couple of things I've learned, I still, even though the world is much less forgiving financially to people trying to like accomplish something artistic, it is. It's not the world, it's not the 90s. But I still do believe that anything is possible. You cannot let desperation overtake your artistry. It's the kiss of death. That's what happened to me. And nothing is more important than your well-being. Nothing. It's your life. How you wake up in the morning and feel is the most important thing. You know what I mean, I think. Maybe you don't. I'm not sure what my point is here.